Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Miladiana Dipa and I'm from English Education Class 5B, and here I will talk briefly about an introduction to English syntax. The first, what actually is syntax? Syntax is the study of the sentence structure, how words group together to make phrases and sentences. So, syntax is the study of sentences and their structure and the construction within sentence. Syntax tells us what goes where in a sentence. So, a lot of people felt confused with syntax and grammar. Then, what's the differences? Syntax is descriptive, that is, it only observes the rules, whereas grammar is prescriptive. It is strict on how they should be used and prove guidance. Grammar is a set of rules that set forth the correct standard of usage in a language. These rules dictate how we should say things correctly, while syntax is the rule governing word order. And then, in linguistics, syntax refers to the rules that govern the way in which words combine to form phrases, clauses, and sentences. The term syntax comes from the Greek, meaning arranged together. The term is also used to mean the study of the syntactic properties of a language. In computer context, the term refers to the proper ordering of symbols and codes so that the computer can understand what instructions are telling it to do. And here, some fact about syntax. Syntax is the proper order of words in a phrase or sentence. Syntax is a tool used in writing proper grammatical sentences. Then, native speakers of a language learn correct syntax without realizing it. The complexity of a writer's or speaker's sentences creates a formal or informal level of diction that is presented to its audience. Syntax is one of the major components of grammar. It's the concept that enables people to know how to start a question with a question word, what is that, or that adjective generally come before the nouns they describe. Green chair, subject often come before verb in noun question sentence like she joked. Prepositional phrases start with preposition like to the store. Helping verb come before main verb like can go or will do, and so on. For native speakers, using correct syntax is something that comes naturally, as word order is learned as soon as infants start absorbing the language. Native speakers can tell something isn't said quite right because it sounds weird, even if they can't detail the exact grammar rule that makes something sound off to the ear. The next is syntactic rules. English part of speech often follow ordering patterns in sentences and clauses, such as compound sentences are joined by conjunction like and, but, and or that multiple adjectives modifying to the same noun follow a particular order according to their class, such as number size color, as in 6 small green chairs. The rules of how to order words help the language part make sense. Sentences also often start with a subject, followed by a predicate or just a verb in the simplest sentence, and contain an object or a complement or both, which shows, for example, what's being act upon, like the example from this sentence. Beth slowly ran the race in wild, multicolored flip-flops. This sentence follows a subject-verb-object pattern. And then this sentence, Beth ran the race, add verb and adjective take their place in front of what they're modifying. For example, slowly run, wild multicolored flip-flops. And then the objects from the sentence the race follows the verb run, and the prepositional phrase in wild multicolored flip-flops start with the preposition in. And then the next is the types of sentence structure. Types of sentences and their syntax mode include simple sentence, compound sentences, complex sentences, and compound complex sentences. Compound sentences are two simple sentences joined by a conjunction. Complex sentences have dependent clause, and compound complex sentences have both types included. The first is simple sentence. It is subject-verb structure. For example, the girl ran. And the second, compound sentence. It is subject-verb-object conjunction, subject-verb structure. For example, the girl ran the marathon and her cousin did too. The third is complex sentence. It dependent clause, subject-verb-object structure. For example, although they were tired after the marathon, the cousin decided to go to a celebration at the park. And the fourth is compound complex sentence. It's 4 clauses, dependent and independent structures. For example, although they weren't fond of crowds, this was different. They decided because of the common goal that had brought everyone together. Okay, that's all for the introduction of English syntax from me. I'm so sorry if I had so many mistakes. See you next time, and wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.